Therefore be patient, brethren, until the coming of Ha'adon. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth. So the example is given through the patience that is shown in the life of those who work the land. The farmer who has to wait for months to be able to see the fruit even has to wait for days to see if that which he planted actually is working and comes out of the soil. That's why the Almighty himself, who planted this creation, had to wait until the end of history for it to give fruit. And that's why we who have been in history and who have little time of life compared to eternity, see this world as everything, and as and that makes us feel like nothing is going to happen because it hasn't happened in 30-40 years, for instance, even though the Almighty has done a lot of things in those years. And I'm just talking about my life, for instance. But if the flesh tends to say, well, you have been waiting for the end, and look, you're still preaching, you're still here, then the other part comes and answers how he has done so much which the flesh is blind to see. So that's why it continues to reject and to go against the will of the Father, and that's why we must submit it to his will. I hope that was clear. So therefore be patient, those who are laborers, those who work for somebody, and that somebody is like those rich people that we just read about, who will get their punishment in due time. Be patient, brethren, until the coming of Ha'adon. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth. We see in Revelation 14 the harvest. The harvest is about to happen. Waiting patiently for it until it receives the early and latter rain. The early and latter rain has to do with 2 times in the year in which there's rain, and through that rain comes the fruit. So one is in the time of the 7th month, which is when the last feasts of Yahweh happen, and the other one is in the 1st month, which has to do with the grain that is harvested, and with the first 4 feasts that Yahushua already fulfilled. So the last 4 feasts will be fulfilled through the manifestation of the 2 witnesses, just like the first 4 were fulfilled through the manifestation of Yahushua HaMashiach 2,000 years ago. So that's why the early and latter rain are connected to the first and second coming, as the dew from the heaven from the morning, which could be connected to the early rain, became in Exodus the manna, and Yahushua is the bread of heaven. So Yahushua as the early rain, like the dew of the morning, which became the bread of heaven, and the latter rain as the rain of the afternoon, which comes with thunder and a lot of water, which is connected to the second coming, which comes as the voice, thunder, and with a lot of revelation and judgment, the water that sometimes is too much for some places. So early and latter rain, first and last. You also be patient, just like a farmer waits for the rain to appear and give what the soil needs for the seed to show and eventually give fruit, and waits for the latter rain to fill once again with water for the harvest to happen. So those who believe in the Almighty should wait for the first and the last, wherever they are in history, of course, or however that may apply to them in that time. And obviously, since we are in the end times, the latter rain. You also be patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of Yahweh is at hand.